Hello there guys, this is Stephen. This is a very quick video before I head to the Castlefield Bowl kind of fan park to watch England bring football home. But I wanted to jump on very quickly to talk about Jorginho. Yes, we've had some good news, but of course that means bad news has to follow. Internet has been absolutely kind of full of bullshit today spreading around Twitter. Who knows what's actually going on with the Jorginho transfer, but all I know is it's blown up absolutely massively. Now it appears that Jorginho is most likely to go to Chelsea, but there's been some counter arguments to that. Some people saying that actually City think that's all bullshit, and De Laurentiis, a man known for being less than honest, let's be honest, is actually exaggerating a little bit. Now, where to start with this? Firstly, De Laurentiis said that City had agreed a fee 2 weeks ago at least, and then the player decided he wanted to go to Chelsea and to London. Now, for me, this doesn't really add up. I'm sure the player has nothing against London and would like to play there, but it looks pretty obvious that we hadn't actually had a fee accepted yet. And all the agent was saying was that he wanted to play for Guardiola, he wanted to play for Manchester City, it'd be a dream to play there, and they were just sat waiting for it to be confirmed so he could go and have his medical and sign a contract. Now, I'm not saying he only had his eyes set on Manchester City, but it looked like that's the only thing that was in the way. That's when Chelsea weren't in the picture at the time. Now, to me, I'd heard personally a rumour that even though the fee had been agreed, like this is how much we're going to pay, say 60 million, whatever it was, 50 million, the actual arrangements of how it's going to be paid weren't decided yet in terms of how long the fee would be paid over, 3 or 4 years, how much the add-ons would be important in terms of would the add-ons total to this much and what would have to do to get there. All these minor details in the contract weren't ironed out yet. At no point had Napoli gone, yep, we've agreed to that fee, we've rubber stamped it, now you've just got to go and get the player signed. As far as I'm aware, that never actually happened. This doesn't look straight, does it? Let me just slightly tweak that. Back to the video, but I don't think that ever actually happened. I think we were very close and in principle it was agreed, but then they kept stalling and City were haggling, and to me it looks like Chelsea have just come in and jumped and offered a little bit more money, and Jorginho, to me, and this is my take on it, it's probably thought, City have been arguing over just how we're going to pay this fee. Why are they going to add another 10 million to this? Why are they going to match Chelsea's fee? They probably won't do it. He's probably thinking, this is going on forever. I've got my family to sort out. I've got my future to decide. And Chelsea, I know they're in the Europa League next season, but they're still a very good club. And he's got the caveat as well of maybe playing for his manager that he no doubt absolutely loves. He's probably thinking, I'd rather play for Pep. But this Chelsea thing, it's not exactly a bad deal, is it? It's still playing in one of the top clubs in European football, and they are a bigger club than Napoli, even if not historically, at least at the current standing. They're still a powerhouse in European football, and they'll be back in the Champions League next season. They'll be better next season. They won't collapse in the way they did this year. He's probably thinking, that sounds quite tempting to me as a good alternative. It's not Manchester City, but it's still a very good club. I still believe he wants to play for City, but I'm starting to wonder if he actually is a little bit worried about it actually coming to fruition. He thinks, maybe I should just cut my losses a little bit and get on with it. However, having said that, some journalists today have come out, obviously being briefed by Manchester City. Sometimes it happens where all these kind of connected journalists start tweeting the same thing, and you think, that's come from Manchester City, that they've told these journalists the same thing. And Manchester City, allegedly, have leaked that they think it's all bullshit from De Laurentiis, and it's just all gamesmanship, and City is still very much in this. That kind of makes sense to me. I honestly thought, as soon as I heard that, that sounds like to me the chairman trying to put all the pressure on Manchester City's court. It sounded to me like the chairman trying to blame the player for accepting a higher fee for Chelsea. I don't think for any 1 second he's come out and said, I only want Chelsea and that's it. It doesn't make sense. I'm sure happy to go there, but it looks to me like the chairman was trying to blame the player for basically keeping it going on. Now, whether this will happen or not, I'm not really sure anymore. I feel like it's going to get a little bit too messy. Maybe it'll happen, but I'm starting to think he might go to Chelsea. But either way, he isn't dead yet. I'm clinging on to the smallest bit of hope, but I'm not going to get carried away. But for me, I do think we could have got this signed earlier. A lot of people say, yeah, but if you only wanted Chelsea, then we couldn't really do anything about that. Well, I'm sorry, Chelsea weren't involved 2 weeks ago. And if we just maybe ironed out those small details in the contract, then he would be a Manchester City player now because he would have had no other options. And I still believe that he wanted to come to City first and foremost. That's up for debate. I can't prove that, obviously. But that's just my take on it personally. Now, for me, a slight side point, I don't think this thing where we go, you can only want to play for City. I don't think that's realistic or even fair. Humans don't do that. People are entitled to want to play for other clubs. People are entitled to look after their family, their best interests. And no one can be expected to say, I will turn down every other club just for you. What's he meant to do? Tell Napoli to accept a lower bid for him? They're never going to do it. So he's out with his own hands anyway. He's not going to kick up a fuss and punch the chairman in the face to get a move, is he? It's a little bit harsh. I'm sure he wants to play for City, but to expect him to dedicate his life and get a Manchester City tattoo on his chest and say, I only want you, nothing else, I'll cry if I don't go anywhere else. That's just not fair and unrealistic. It's a very unhuman thing to do as well. So I don't think that's a very good idea. It's a good in principle, but you can't literally live and die by that because it means we'll lose out on players. I do appreciate we're trying to take a stance where we're trying to save every little last penny to kind of save us from being ripped off in the future, but we will lose out on our first choice targets now, potentially, if this happens. Every now and then, moments like this will happen. So if you want to play this game, so be it. But there is downsides to it. Sometimes we'll get a cheaper deal. Sometimes we'll lose out on a player that we want because of that 1 or 2 million extra. I don't know. It's very messy. We all disagree on this, I'm sure. For me, I want Jorginho. I think he suits the system that we're playing perfectly. I hope it happens. There's still the smallest of chance. But not, let me know in the comments who you think should be the replacement. Anyway, guys, that's just some very quick thoughts there. I'm going to go and get ready for the England game now and watch that. This video will probably be up about an hour after I've recorded this, so it'll be like nearly 7 o'clock, hopefully. Before 7 o'clock, hopefully, by the time this video's up. Anyway, go watch my Morris reaction video above my head somewhere right now, because that was a good little video, if I don't say so myself, and the Angus Gunn reaction video in a bit, guys. Football's coming home.